3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 1137. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting the subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome. And thank you very much for your support in helping me reach 300 subscribers at this time, as well as your presence during this reading. So, I kind of have a few things I want to talk about. The first thing is somebody's ancestors might be pointing to a significant time in the afternoon, like an actual clock time. Maybe more specifically, it could be 1:30. It doesn't have to be. And that doesn't have to resonate for you. I'm going to take it if it does resonate. And I did see the numbers 111 and 122 on the timer while I was talking. And the number 1 is about having trust and faith in yourself, in the universe, maybe to find clarity or for some other reason. It could be helpful for you to really listen to and pay attention to your inner voice, where your intuition is trying to tell you, where it is trying to guide you. I did just see, actually, there may be a person or a situation, well, probably a person, that took advantage of your vulnerability. There's something here about letting them go or walking away. I also want to talk about the number. Did I already mention that I saw 122? I'm not sure, but I did. The number is about how change starts with you. So there could be a significant time in the afternoon, a person or a situation that you're walking away from, or should walk away from, or have already walked away from, that took advantage of your vulnerability, your trust, your weaknesses, exploited them, exploited you. And it could have been very frustrating, but there is something to learn here and something to do with this frustration that is more constructive and helpful than destructive and not helpful. There's also a message here about having trust and faith in yourself and remembering that change, positive change, well, any kind of change really does start with you. So be mindful of the kind of change that you have in your life and other people's lives in this world, because you do have an impact and you will always have an impact because of how deeply connected everyone and everything is. Because of vibration, frequency, maybe even sound. That's reminding me of a page that I read in this little book yesterday. This is maybe more helpful for Christians, because that's where I read it from. It doesn't have to be, though. It was from a religious book. And it was talking about the power of music and how healing it can be. I have personally always, for as long as I can remember, I've always loved music, all kinds of music. But I like meditation music in particular to help me reflect and bring myself back down to earth, to maybe to restore some peace in my life, especially if I went through something particularly challenging or uncomfortable that day. Maybe that could be helpful for you too. But moving into interpreting the number 1137. By the way, in the beginning I almost said 1138. So maybe you want to stick around and see what messages are going to be in tomorrow's video. The name Tamara might be significant. Starting with the number 1 in 1137, there are 2 ones, and we already mentioned that that is about having trust and faith in yourself and the universe. So I feel like those ones are just reinforcing what we already talked about with the number 111, whether it's to ground yourself, to find more clarity, a little more trust and faith. I don't see how that could hurt in any way. I guess maybe unless you're not seeing things clearly, but even then I feel like it could still be helpful, you know. It just depends. You do what feels right for you. Moving into the number 3, this number is about using your voice and expressing yourself, communicating, always choosing to heal and to grow, so you are always open and ready for and aligned with people and situations that respect you and your voice, who you are, really. I have my own personal frustrations with my voice not being heard or respected, and I know what it feels like to be treated like somebody that you're not, and it is very, very frustrating. So if anyone else resonates with that, just know that you are not alone, and that there are people and other situations out there who will respect you and your voice, and will honestly hear what you have to say and genuinely try to understand you instead of jumping to conclusions or just judging you without even exploring how you feel first, you know? There are people out there who will not make assumptions based on somebody, you, who they do not understand. There are people out there who are genuinely curious, maybe just as curious as you are, and you deserve to be connected with those people who are just so honest, you know, and down to earth. Maybe feels good about themselves from time to time, but don't have a big ego. Having an ego on its own isn't bad. We all have an ego. It just really depends on how you use it, I suppose. What you feel good about yourself about. The next number, the number 7, is about wisdom and expanding your awareness and your consciousness. It's really about learning something, or many things, especially spiritual things, waking up to something. It's also about becoming more deeply connected with your own soul and the spirit of the universe, that's a really powerful thing to say, I will admit. But it feels very true and honest to me that the universe has that the universe has a soul just as much as we humans do. And I think we are always connected to the universe in that way because of the spiritual nature of everything that exists, the energetic field that we can't exactly see. There could definitely be something or an opportunity here for you to learn or wake up to something through healing and growing. Maybe it has to do with using your voice or communicating, or maybe it has to do with something else or more than one thing. But if you are feeling called to learn and to express yourself, to heal and to grow, trust yourself and have faith in yourself and your ability to become more aware, to find peace, and to be heard. Yeah. I feel like there's more I want to say there, but I don't know what it is. Let's go ahead and move into adding up these numbers. 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 7 is 12, and 1 plus 2 is 3. And as we already said, using your voice, expressing yourself, healing and growing, this really does feel like the main focus here. I think we're all collectively being called to do a lot more healing and a lot more growing so we can communicate and express ourselves in a way that is honest, that helps us create a world that is built on truth. I really do want you to know that whatever healing or growing or learning you are doing that is psychological or spiritual, oh boy, it is so much bigger than you, and there's so much meaning and power in what you are doing. So keep doing it. And if you're ever feeling like you want to give up, you're tempted to give in to the devil, literally or figuratively, check in with yourself and make sure you're not leaving yourself behind, who you really are. While I was being silent there, and just now, saw the number 234, but I was going to say, while I was being silent, I saw the number 222. I saw both of these numbers on the timer, and I just saw another sign about someone taking advantage of your vulnerability, your trust, your weaknesses. Somebody who really does not have your best interests in mind. It feels like they're very self-serving. Like I said, it can definitely be very frustrating. So make sure you are using this frustration wisely, you are expressing this frustration wisely. Number 234 is a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. You are in the position that you are in for a reason. There's a spiritual, deeper meaning. If you don't know what that meaning or that reason is, either you gotta go looking for it, you gotta wait for the universe to reveal it to you, or you just have to have trust. I do think eventually it'll make sense if you move forward honestly and fairly towards yourself. But I think having the patience and the trust and the faith to see that happen, you're going to need it. You're really going to need it. The number 2 can be a sign about a significant relationship or situation that you are connected to, that this reading feels like it could be about. Just extra confirmation there for somebody who may need it. It can also be confirmation or guidance for you to be very wise about your decisions moving forward. Make sure you are prioritizing what really means the most to you, investing in people and situations that align with who you truly are, and what you truly believe in, what you truly value, and protect your peace. Make choices that protect your peace and reflect who you truly are. And for somebody in particular, you might be in a difficult situation where you really, really just have to be wise with the decisions that you're making, what you choose to do, and what you choose to say. And what I say is, if your fear holds you back from doing or saying something, Give yourself extra care when it comes to trying to understand what this fear is trying to tell you. Definitely recommend, putting the brakes on something or just taking a minute to think and to reflect and really understand how you feel. What are you afraid of? Ask yourself, is this fear trying to limit me and I'm just afraid of what I don't know? Or is it really trying to protect me and I know that if I say or do something, it is not going to work in my best interest? Really try to understand what the fear is trying to tell you. Because it's very much important to protect us, but it can also be a barrier or a limit if our nervous system has been calibrated to make the alarm bells go off during a false alarm. That's the best way I can describe it. But you can see that there are 2 decks of cards on the table. These here are tarot cards from the Secrets of Tarot, and these are index cards that I made and wrote on myself with things that I just felt called to write. I'm going to start with drawing out a couple of these tarot cards to get more detail into what all of these messages are about. From the number 1137. Had a little bit of a brain fart there. Maybe something will also come through that we haven't even talked about. So let's see. Wow. A bunch of cards just fell on the floor. It took me a minute to grab those. Okay. One of these cards was fighting me. There's another one. I just refused to come off the floor. Let's try this again. Let's do this one, yeah. Okay, so the first card I have for you is the 2 of Wands. And as you can see, there are a lot of things written on this card. What I wrote is ambition, vision, planning. You're planning your way forward, prepared. Maybe there's a significant presentation that you have to do here. I also wrote decision, partner, balance. Do you have a business partner? Or is there someone that you want to be partnered with in business? We have the zodiac signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, and the element of fire. The artist of this deck wrote short journey, movement to or near water. Let's go ahead and draw out all of these cards before I talk about them. The next one is the Queen of Swords in reverse here. And again, lots of things written on this card. I wrote smart, clarity, complex, independent, open mind, organized, analytical. Someone here could be feeling fragmented or overwhelmed. It says influence, teach, and understand. And the zodiac signs of Libra, Air, and Aquarius. Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, and the element of air. And the artist of this deck wrote woman over 25 years, brown eyes and brown hair, cold, hard, demanding authority. Now, as for the features, the age, hair, and eye color, it does not have to resonate for you because it's extremely specific. So if it does resonate for you, though, maybe that's just extra confirmation that this reading is meant for you. But as I said, this card is in reverse. Let's go ahead and draw out this index card. For some reason, I was wanting to say tarot card. I don't want to draw a tarot card. Universe. We're going to do one of these index cards. And I have... Okay. It says, I can't wait for the memories we make together. So there's a significant person in your life that you want to have amazing experiences with, that you want to have amazing memories with, and this doesn't have to be romantic. I actually just saw this card It could definitely be a friendship. Someone here might also want to be mindful, as I said earlier, to know when to speak and to use your voice. Now, just because there is a message here about somebody that you want to have amazing memories with, that doesn't mean that that is set in stone. That doesn't mean that you are seeing things clearly. But mentioning that doesn't mean that you're not seeing things clearly. You know? I'm just putting it out there that it does seem like you want to have amazing memories with somebody. But there's also a warning here. It really just depends on your situation, so I really encourage you to trust yourself. Somebody here, there's someone who genuinely wants to make memories with you as well. Somebody else, there's somebody here who is taking advantage of your hope and your trust. The Two of Wands here for me is about, you've been presented with an opportunity that you're passionate about, that your soul feels connected to. And now you're kind of like, well, what do I do with it? How do we move forward? What plans do we make? I definitely feel that communication is important, which really aligns with the number 3 that we talked about, using your voice and expressing yourself. I want you to know that you deserve to have a say in this just as much as anybody else involved, whether it's a business situation, a romantic situation, whatever it is. Communication is important in the planning phase of this. So be honest about how you feel. And don't be afraid to make the hard decision or say the thing that you're afraid to say. I mean, you can be afraid. What is courage without fear? But as I said before, someone may need to be more strategic and really think before you speak or before you act. And I just saw another sign, a warning here, which I think is really important for somebody, that somebody here is trying to exploit you or take advantage of you. And I feel like if you are honest about how you feel, what you really want, where you really want things to go, this person's true colors, true intentions will become more obvious in the way that they react to what you have to say. Do they come off as disrespectful, or like they're not really listening? Or just pay attention to the little things, the cues, if that's what you want to call them, that could mean that this person, they're not on the same page. The Queen of Swords in reverse is still somebody who is, upright, the Queen of Swords is very honest, and they can come off as cold sometimes, but they're not. There's no anger behind the coldness. It's just maybe this person just really values honesty, no matter how brutal or blunt it is. But when it's in reverse, this is somebody, I feel, who is weaponizing the truth. I feel that there's a lot of anger in this Queen of Wands in reverse, a lot of bitterness. And this could be you, it could be somebody else. Again, another warning here to think before you speak. Use your frustration, express your frustration wisely. I think in general the Queen of Wands does value the truth. Well, I guess not always. Because that's the thing about the truth, it can be a double-edged sword. You can use it to work for you, to protect, or to work against you and to harm and take advantage of people. So really, who is this Queen of Wands? Is it you? Maybe are there lies that you're telling yourself that come from pain or fear? Or is there somebody else who is like that? No matter what, no matter who this Queen of Swords is, and I wanted to say the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands in reverse can come off as someone who is bossy and domineering, which honestly really aligns with trying to communicate plans and just feeling like your ideas aren't really being genuinely considered. Like maybe this person likes to dominate the conversation or just really likes having control, but it isn't fair to you. Or it could be the other way around, where you really like to have control and it's not fair to the other person. as I was trying to say before, regardless of the roles, there needs to be honesty. Because somebody here deserves to know how truly committed you are, someone else is, to the memories or the dreams that somebody wants or has. Be honest, but be mindful too.